Hi, and welcome to the second video on Solved Engine. I'm Brad Ashley.
And I'm Scott Campbell. Now, Brad, in the last video, you walked me through where to get in Engine, and I did. I downloaded, found the link, and I've got it installed. You walked me through that as well. And so if anybody hasn't seen that video and they don't have it yet, they should go back to that video and have a watch. But it's okay. So I got it installed. Now walk me through the app itself, like what's where and how do I use it?
Sure. So that sounds great, Scott. So to begin, let's look for the actual application. When you search in your start menu, you should see Solved Engine. Let's open that up. And because this is a new installation, you're going to see that you haven't yet put in your activation, your license activation key. And so that would have been sent in the, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the one you sent me, right? By email.
Yeah.
Okay. And that goes in that license key box?
That's right. So you paste that license key in, and then we like to keep track of who's using the actual license key. And this is important if you're sharing license keys. Solved Engine is a concurrent license, and so you can have several people access the same license key. But what you'll notice when you do that is that you'll see who's currently using it or who currently has it checked out. And that's important so that you can go and let them know that that you're going to be using it for the day. So
that's what the email is for then, right? So, we got a small office here. 3 of us are going to use it. So what you're saying is when the 3 of us install it, we use the same license key, but we each put in our own email address.
That's right.
Okay.
So once you've put in the license key and email address, you'll see at the bottom that you have to agree to our Solved Engine end user license agreement. You can click that here and agree to it. You can also click on the link and open it up and see what it says. And again, if you don't have a license key or you haven't been sent that license key, you can always sign up for the free evaluation. This will take you back to that same access code request that you did earlier.
What's that offline activation? Is that the same thing or is that something different?
So the offline activation allows you to use Solved Engine without needing internet access. It does need internet access up front to connect and ensure that you have an appropriate license key. But the one thing that is different here is that you'll see that it requires an offline activation key specifically. And so that is a different license type. And so if you're interested in that and need to work with Solved Engine offline, just contact us at sales@solv.com and we'll be happy to send you out some information on it.
Oh, I see. So I do a lot of work up in the mountains where there's no internet connection, like there's no cell coverage or anything like that. So if I want to do work up there, if I want to process or use Engine, then the offline activation key is what I would be using then.
That's right. You just have to make sure that you activate it before you leave the office. And then when you're in the mountains or in the remote area, it'll work for you just fine.
Right on.
So now that I've put in my license key and my email address, I've agreed to that EULA. I'm going to activate the product and it'll say that the license has been activated. So now you can see up here under license, if by chance you didn't get that pop-up or you needed to change your activation code, you can always go license manage and that same place will pop up. Again, if you're using if multiple people are using the same activation code, you'll see them all listed here in the list below.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure. What are these gray and white bands in front of me here? It says operation.
Yeah, so this is how our workflows work. And I'm going to get into this probably in the next video around how to actually work with the Solved Engine. But what I want to talk about mostly here in this video is just the general overview and where things are housed. So we've now talked about license up here at the top. We can talk about settings. The first item here is the company name. This allows you to put a company name in up to 32 characters. And this will be housed in the heading of any LAS file that gets created on a Solved Engine. So when you send that out to a client or if it gets sent out from inside your company, someone will be able to look and see which company has created that LAS file. As well, here we've got the projection manager. I'm going to touch on this when we get into the third video, and we'll talk about which tools or some of the tools that require projections to be set. Under upload, you can actually upload through a back-end way into Solved Encompass, And we'll talk about that in some of the Solved and Compass videos that are available. And then underneath help, this is where you can find additional information. So which version of Solved Engine are you currently using, how to get started. All of our documentation and support documentation are available in here. There's an actual tutorial to walk you through how to create a workflow, as well as release notes. So each time we release a new version of the application, release notes get included in here. And there's actually a support channel. So for those of you who are some of our beta testers, you can actually choose between a production stable version and a beta version of the application.
What's the viewer off there on the left there?
This is our Solved Engine viewer that we'll be talking about in another video here later in the series as well.
So we'll talk about that later. Okay, and now, so underneath the logo there, it says SOLV3D Engine, function search. So what are those things down the left? I'm assuming that they must be related to the processing.
Yeah, these are all of our processing functions. So depending on what you're trying to do to your data, maybe you've got images that you're trying to process, things like blurring, requesting the EXIF information from the image, those fall underneath image. But if you're just trying to find something, you can type it here in the top. So maybe I want to do something to do with CSV files. I can type CSV in the top and that'll pop up. Again, we're going to go through all of the various functionality here in the next video.
Okay, that's pretty comprehensive. I think I now understand where things sit. So yeah, why don't we maybe hop over to the next video and you can show me how to set up a workflow.